I had a question about sin today.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering what advice you give to Christians who are trying to combat habitual sin.
Habitual sin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jesus said, if you love me, you'll follow my commandments. If someone is a Christian in habitual sin and you're not convicted about it, chances are you're not a Christian. If the Holy Spirit is not convicting you of sin, which is one of his roles, you don't have the Holy Spirit if you're in sin. Doesn't mean we don't sin, we do sin, but when we do sin, we feel convicted about it. So if you're convicted about sin, then you need to renew your mind, as Paul says in Romans 12. You need to put away things that are causing you to go down that road. Sometimes it might be the internet, right? You need to get accountability partner, and you need to do a lot of prayer. Or, if it's very severe, you can get spiritual counseling from a Christian counselor. And start with a pastor. But all of us still have that sin nature that we need to crucify. And that's what the sanctification process is, right? None of us have reached perfection, and we won't until we're in glory. But we should be progressing toward the image of Jesus. As Paul says in Romans 8, he says, all things work together for good to those that love God and are called according to his purpose, ultimately to be conformed to the image of his Son. By the way, that's another good outcome of evil. When you go through evil, you often grow. You grow in character. You grow as a child of God. You grow in the likeness of Jesus. Jesus learned obedience through suffering. The guy that didn't have a sin nature, he learned obedience through suffering. If he had to learn obedience through suffering, how about us? We have a sin nature. We still need to learn obedience through suffering. Does that help? All right, great question. Thank you.